Greetings everyone! Today we're taking a look at Mega Man issue 14 and part 2 of Spiritus Ex Machina. There are two plots going on right now, so let's recap both quickly before we get started. The main plot has the Light family attending a robot convention where they meet canon characters and new comic exclusive ones. Dr. Light later debates with one of these comic exclusive characters, Dr. Lalande, about whether or not robots should have advanced AI. Light is, of course, for it, but Lalande is against it, not because of a possible Terminator situation, but fear of attachment. Those that are against the potential robot apocalypse are an extremist group called the Emerald Spears. Disguising themselves as security guards, they took control of the building and forced every human out and planned to blow up the building with all the robots inside. Their leader, Harvey Greenleaf, seriously, also plans to change the Doctor's minds. The secondary plot has Wily journey to the mysterious landfront ruins to investigate the EMP field. His search leads him to an underground cavern with a wired giant sphere. Where do we go from here? First, we start where the last issue left off, with everyone in a panic and Harvey declaring his intentions. One of the Emerald Spears grabs a hold of Light, and Mega Man's ready to defend the dock, until Harvey tells the guard to back off. We get some clarification on the whole robots cannot harm humans bit. See, robots cannot harm humans unless it is to save other humans, meaning as long as the Emerald Spears do not attack or threaten humans, Mega Man is powerless. Meanwhile, in the convention hall, Roll and Kalinka are still hiding. Kalinka calls her father, and he tells her to stick with Roll for now. Hey Harvey, it's not cool to interrupt an important call between father and daughter, especially since this is the type of father who would do anything to save his daughter. Speaking of saving, Light's concerned that the Emerald Spears will eventually harm people with their explosives. I assume he figured it out when Harvey mentioned the robot's destruction. So he wants Mega Man to save them while the doctors stall Harvey. Mega Man takes Rush and Quake Woman with him as three of the most ethical robotic experts begin debating with the peacenik leader of an extremist group. Now let's check in on the unethical robotic expert. Wily pulls out a laptop to study the sphere thing, hoping the EMP doesn't affect it. That's when the sphere thing's tentacle wires move and snatch the laptop. After interfacing with it and examining all of the doctor's files, the sphere produces its first creation, Quick Man? His last memory was fighting Mega Man until Wily reveals he lost. His last memory backup was then transferred back to Wily. How convenient. And Wily sees opportunities with his discovery. Back over to RobotCon, one of the lesser robots wants to be with its human owner, who's been forced outside. Electman uses his authority as a robot master to make the robot behave, but this redhead Emerald Spears lady wants to keep it in line with a cattle prod, and she looks like she's enjoying it. Xander checks in on Harvey and is upset that he's not going far enough. He wants the scientists dead, not just their robots. Perhaps it's something to do with why he's wearing an eye patch. Regardless, Harvey's not backing down on his plan to change minds. Xander leaves and has two of his associates meet him elsewhere. One of them is the redhead lady with the cattle prod. Xander says Harvey lacks the will to really get things done, so for now, they'll keep hauling humans out. Then they'll have many of their forces evacuate before they detonate the explosives. These three will fall back to the security office where they'll be safe. Mega Man meets up with Pharaoh Man and Electman and informs them on the situation with the doctors and the explosives. The plan for now is Mega Man and Rush will distract the Emerald Spear guards while the others find and disable the explosives with their skills. As they head off, Pharaoh Man and Electman comment on Quake Woman's, well, lack of personality. Roll and Kalinka happen to pick up Harvey's transmission on the latter's smartphone. As they record it for evidence, they are spotted by Theo, one of Xander's associates, and the chase begins. Exciting, isn't it? But for now, let's head back over to the B plot. By now, the sphere has recreated the remaining Mega Man 2 robot masters, and Wily, along with Quickman and Heatman, are further exploring the ruins. Quickman says he can search the place in no time, but Wily points out he does not have a keen eye for ancient technologies. Case in point, they discover what appears to be an ancient robot robot. Looks kind of familiar, doesn't it? They head back to the cavern where the remaining robot masters are setting up a new lab. And it seems Flashman has a serious grudge against Quickman. Getting stabbed in the back will do that to you. A new robot master appears from the sphere. One of our first Mega Man 3 robot masters, Magnet Man. Through him, the sphere, or Raw Moon as it's called, informs Wily he'll soon have a completed lab and an army of robots. Going back to RobotCon, Rock uses his civilian mode to trick the Emerald Spear guards into thinking he's being chased by a dangerous robot, then trapping them in areas like a closet. The other robot masters are making progress locating and dismantling the bombs. They need to keep it up because the doctors can only debate with Harvey for so long, not because they're running out of topics to talk about. Rather, it's due to Xander tiring of Harvey's leadership and literally giving him the boot. The issue ends with him introducing himself as Xander Payne. Seriously? And giving the doctors a second to make peace before their demise. Let's talk about the Wily subplot first, and it's something I've hinted at for the past few issues. We're witnessing the start of a game adaptation I didn't know they were tackling, a Japanese-only PS1/Saturn game called Super Adventure Rockman, a game that Keiji Inafune declared non-canon due to its darker nature. At the start of the game, Wily explores the landfront ruins to find the source of an EMP field, only to come across Raw Moon, and Raw Moon uses the information from Wily's computer to recover Wily's robot masters. The differences between the game and the comic are as followed. In the game, Raw Moon recreates the Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 3 robot masters in body only. Wily had to place their integrated circuit chips, the thing that contains a robot's personality, into the bodies to fully reactivate them. In the case of the comic, Raw Moon is recreating the Mega Man 2 robots, personality and all, thanks to having their memory backups downloaded into Wily's computer upon death. Given how some of these robot masters were originally destroyed, yeah, that's justified. And for the first time, Raw Moon's creating the Mega Man 3 robot masters. Well, most of them. I'll get to him next issue. The situation at RobotCon intensifies. Before Xander took over, the doctors are holding out against Harvey. To be fair, Harvey brings up some legitimate points regarding the dangers of giving robots independent thought. The doctors address that, at this point, the robots are bound by their coding, and it was only thanks to the actions of Wily that made the robots dangerous. The sad thing is, Harvey's fears are justified. With Light's dream of one day making a true free-willed robot, anyone familiar with the Mega Man X series and beyond will know what that means. For the moment, the Emerald Spears are the villains, and it's up to our heroes to make sure the humans are safe. While they cannot directly harm these humans unless it's to save other humans, I wonder if that will have any payoff. For now, the group's going to use their skills to find and disable the explosives, and their power sets are perfectly suited in this case. Feralman fighting the hidden objects, Electman shorting out the devices with his electricity, Quake Woman's excavation tools, and Rock using his civilian mode to trick the guards. As an aside, it seems Quake Woman can morph into an active mode similar to that of Mega Man. Roll is showing real courage during this crisis. It helps that she has someone to take care of. Plus, she has Kalinka use her smartphone to record evidence to eventually be used by the police. Well, I knew Xander would be the bigger threat the moment we met him last issue. The aggressive attitude, the eye patch, typical signs of a villain. Though his behavior is possibly justified because a robot attack caused him to wear an eye patch in the first place. His name though. First there's Harvey Greenleaf, and now Xander Payne? Why not have, say, Redhead Lady be called Simone McBully, or Theo be called Theo Von Gullible? Okay, Theo is Xander's brother, but given the next issue, yeah. I'm giving this issue a 9. Things are building up on both fronts, and the human villains, at least Harvey, brought up some interesting points. We are reminded that the La Linde Quake Woman situation is still a point that will be addressed very, very soon. However, with Xander now in charge, the situation is now much more dangerous. We'll see where things go in issue 15. I'm sure Heatman's grateful for the new body, but Wily not telling him about the heat regulator on his back? That's a jerk move, Wily.